This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2, Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, September 7th. I'm Tori here with Al, Erica, and Dr. Coley is joining us.
Yes.
She's taken over my job, I think. All right, so Dr. Coley, we all just got back from Labor Day holiday, and compared to this time last year, COVID cases are up more than 300%. A lot of people were traveling this weekend with more than 7 million people hitting airports. That's more than double last year. And all across the country, people were out and about celebrating the 3-day weekend, many in very crowded places. So, Doc, we want to know, do you think this Labor Day will lead to a surge in cases? And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but is this the new normal?
So firstly, 57% of us are vaccinated, right, nationally, which means 43% aren't. So in those 43%, absolutely, there's going to be a surge because this Delta virus spreads so efficiently. And if they were traveling this weekend, we're going to see a surge in those people. But I also want to say that we're comparing a little bit of apples and oranges here because you guys remember last year, Labor Day, what we were doing? A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
We were locked down. We were staying home. We were wearing our masks. So take it with a tiny grain of salt. Yes, the cases are up, but as we mobilize more, we expect cases to be up. We just don't want those severe cases, those hospitalizations to happen.
Yeah, for our healthcare workers too. All right, Dr. Coley, you've had a lot of viewers writing in with questions about the booster shot. So maybe this is one of you. Listen up. Maybe you can help answer some of these. Up first is Letitia, who asks, when should I get the booster shot?
The $1,000,000 question,
Yeah.
Letitia. So it depends, okay? So there are a lot of different factors that go into it. If you're immunocompromised, now, you get that booster shot right away. If you're immunocompetent, you have to ask yourself, number one, when did you get your full vaccine? So has it been that magical 6 to 8 months after your full vaccine? Number two, which vaccine did you get? Was it Pfizer, where you probably will get the same shot as a booster, the 30 micrograms? Was it Moderna, where you'll probably get a half-dose booster?
Oh, interesting.
We don't know yet, but that's what we think. Or was it Johnson & Johnson, where we really don't know whether you should still get a J&J booster or you should get one of the messenger RNA boosters? Exactly. So those are the important questions to ask yourself, and then what you're doing. What your risk is, are you traveling, are you a healthcare worker, all of those factor into your decision.
Wow.
All right, well, Doc, my man Reed asked, he says, I got the Moderna vaccine. Has there been any progress made on when Moderna, you were just kind of talking about this, when Moderna will have a booster shot? Or should I get a Pfizer, a mix and match kind of situation, booster if there's no Moderna available?
Well, you got the Moderna, right?
I did.
I did too.
Oh,
so I've been
feeling
asking
strong
myself
over
this
here.
question. So I was fully vaxxed on January 15th. Which means, guess what? My 8 months
It's coming up.
It's just coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up next week. So I ask myself this a lot. So Moderna is moving a little slower than Pfizer. They just submitted for FDA approval in June, for full FDA approval for their original vaccine. And for the booster, they just submitted the data last Wednesday. And as I talked about, they're talking about a half-dose booster for Moderna because that was a 100 microgram dose as compared to Pfizer, which was only 30 micrograms. So what I would say is hang in there. I need to hang in there. You need to hang in there. Don't just go out and get a Pfizer booster. We don't know what that means.
And just to jump in, if you got the J&J, is there a vaccine booster on the way, or should they be expecting something?
Big question mark there. So what I'm telling my patients that got J&J, because we don't know, and the efficacy of J&J is one of the lowest with the Delta variant, is to think about going out and getting a messenger RNA booster. The Pfizer one, because we have good data from that coming out of Europe.
Got it.
Well, our final booster shot question comes from Sharon, who asks, should I get my flu shot before or after the COVID booster shot? Is it okay to get them at the same time?
That's a good question.
Yeah, very good question. So flu season's here, you guys. Aren't you excited?
I've never heard that said with such a smile.
I actually thought about you earlier because I was like, oh, Dr. Coley told us last year that this is about the time that we should start to gear up for
You got
flu
it.
shots.
You got it. September, October is the magic sweet spot. Not too early, not too late. So if we haven't gotten our flu shots yet, we should go and get those. It doesn't matter if you get it before or after the booster, if you're eligible for the booster now. But I wouldn't get it at the same time personally. The CDC says you can, but I just don't think there's enough data out there. And the idea is if you get 2 shots at the same time, your immune system's learning to do 2 things. It may not do either of those as well, and you may have more adverse reactions. So my personal take is space them out. Why not?
Space them out.
2 sick days instead of 1.
And how much of a space should we give it?
2 weeks, because it's about how long it takes your immune system to kind of learn and make those antibodies. So about 2
Let me ask a question too. If you get the booster, some people like you had a pretty bad reaction to the vaccine. Would you have the same reaction to the booster shot?
You are likely expected to.
Okay.
Now, some of your immunity has gone down a little bit. It's waned over time, so maybe the immune system's not quite as ready to go to war this time.
Got it.
But it's still probably going to cause a reaction more than that first one did, for sure.
Got it.
And I was just going to ask really quickly, no one talked about the flu last year because everybody was socially distancing.
Yes.
Everybody's wiping everything off. Remember wiping off your groceries? So it did help to kind of keep people, not worried about the flu. And because of that, I think now that people are vaccinated, people are a little bit more lax, touching things, not washing their hands as much. And I wonder if because of that, we're going to see a surge in the flu again this year.
Yes, because big part of last year where we hardly saw any flu was all those masks, the washing, and everything you said. This year we are expected to have a worse flu season. And remember, the hospital's already filling up with COVID patients. People aren't getting their ruptured appendix out or getting their cancer surgeries. And now if you throw in, especially our kids, but even our elderly who might get the flu, that's not what we need. So get that shot for sure.
Wow, Dr. Coley. All right, there's a new COVID variant that got a lot of people worried, known as the Mu. It's spelled M-U, but it's for the Greek alphabet Mu. It's been discovered in 40...
I thought it was Moo.
It's not. I just said it isn't. It's been discovered in 49 states, all but Nebraska. So talk to me about Mu. How is it different than Delta? Is it as sticky and contagious? And do you think it caused a surge in cases and hospitalizations?
And also, is it Moo?
Moo like the cow. Yeah. Mew. You need to go to a frat like Jeff did. Then you'll learn. So yes, we are worried about this variant because every new variant that comes out is a super variant. It's a combination of the previous variants and it's smarter. So this variant we think is more transmissible. So it's just like with Delta, we think it spreads more easily, but it also has a constellation or a collection of mutations that makes it evade our immune system a little bit more.
Wow.
And we know that the vaccine efficacy, the mutations that it has, will lead to lower vaccine efficacy. We still think, we hope that the vaccine works, but it also has two mutations that we have no idea. We haven't seen those before. So a little bit of this is going to wait and see what happens with it, but we're certainly worried about this variant because it has a lot of the factors of the other variants that make it concerning.
Whew. Well, good information there. Again, no fear, just facts here with Dr. Coley. Thank you for giving it to us. We hope if you have questions, you'll write us in on YouTube or DBL app or dailyblastlive.com. Thank you, Doc. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Olivia Munn. She's telling us all about her new crime thriller. And Monica Lewinsky opens up about the sex scandal with Bill Clinton. Does he owe her an apology after all these years?
Closed captioning provided by
All right, so that was some news, not all good news, especially the fact that the flu is coming back.
And that's okay to do. Okay.
Which is, it's so interesting, Tori. I was thinking about how, because we were so serious about, COVID last year, that we forgot that there are things like the flu that kill tens of thousands of people.
Do you want to know something crazy?
Well.
I believe this is true. Last year, Pyle, is this right, Dr. Coley? Last year, there was something like only in the whole country, 2,300 cases of flu.
Hardly any.
It went almost from hundreds of thousands to under 2,500, and that's if you take and hospitalization. So that's saving lives by washing hands. But again, we were inside, so that makes sense. But imagine if we all stayed that vigilant, how many lives we could save from the flu.
Well,
I'm
that's
getting
why
up.
you asked me about the new normal.
Yeah.
In a way, I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think about 9/11 because that's coming up.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
and we've gotten so much more careful when we get on a plane.
So can
now.
we change that in terms of our
Right. How we
health
think about our
care?
health and washing our hands and wearing our masks. And,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it just
it's not
depends
so
on
bad, right?
it's not so bad, but I think people just naturally, there's just some people that if they're told to do something,
Yeah.
it's weird. I remember sitting on a plane 10 some years ago, and there was a guy that was sitting across the aisle from me, and the flight attendant was like, "Hey, can you put your bag under your seat?" And he was just like, "Nah, I don't like following rules."
Yeah, there's like an authoritarian.
Like he looked at me like, "Yeah, right," and I'm just like, they don't want
Like a
your bag to
defiance.
fly out and hit somebody in the head. It's not like, but just it's endemic in some people that they just do not want to follow rules. I don't know if this is long-term for
nature.
Right.
And you know, George,
it's just a thing in some people.
and it's so funny because a lot of people are saying making me get the vaccine is un-American and all that. And I know George Washington is trending because I remember I told you he made his Continental troops get inoculated against smallpox. He mandated it, so he's the most American.
You can't drive drunk.
Welcome back to DBL. A lot of people are buzzing about the new American crime story, impeachment. It's all about the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton affair. So Monica was on the Today Show this morning promoting the new series when she was asked this question: does she think Bill Clinton owes her an apology? Here's what she had to say. Take a look.
I think there was a long period before my life changed, the last 6 or 7 years, where I felt a lot in terms of there not being this resolution. And I'm very grateful that I don't have that feeling anymore. I don't need it. He should want to apologize in the same way that I want to apologize any chance I get to people that I've hurt and my actions have hurt.
This is such a fascinating question to me. DBL Nation, we want to know what you think, so chime in. Does Bill Clinton owe Monica Lewinsky an apology, yes or no? Could not be more simple. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I say it couldn't be simple, but it's kind of complex, Erica. What do you think?
Oh, it's very complex.
Yeah, like, it's easy to vote, but not this issue.
I think Monica's answer was so spot on. A lot of times we look for apologies from people that it would be very much just words, not necessarily any action behind it. And the idea that she doesn't need that anymore is a huge sign of growth. I think he owes accountability. So anytime she's thrown under the bus again, as if she was the one that orchestrated all this all alone, that would at least be shared. Yes, absolutely.
Well, Erica, a lot of time has passed at this point, and I agree with what you're saying. I want to ask you this. Do you think if she was to get an apology from Bill Clinton, obviously this has been the story of her life. This is the only thing people want to talk about. It would just kick that beehive again. So now we have the conversation of should he have apologized, and you'll have men's rights activist groups come. Do you want to start this again? Not does she deserve it.
Do you want to stir it up again?
Do you want your life back? I don't know if that's even possible for her because she's only really tied to this one thing, unfortunately.
Well, just by virtue of the fact she's giving interviews and telling her story, she's already kicked that beehive. So we are talking about it again. But I think it's a good point, but I think that ship has already sailed.
Yeah. It's amazing when someone doesn't need forgiveness to move on. That's superpower. Am I right? Let's get to the polls. 57% of you say no, he doesn't need to apologize. 43% of you say yes. So kind of right in the middle. Interesting. Write us in if you have more details to share. This got me a little interested in this new movie. Jessica Chastain, have y'all seen this? And her co-star Oscar Isaac raised some eyebrows on the red carpet in Venice. The two looked very cozy while promoting their new HBO series, Scenes from a Marriage, at the Venice International Film Festival over the weekend. At one point, Oscar, in slow-mo, caresses Jessica's arm. He looks at her, and then he goes in to kiss it. A lot of fans could not get over how flirty they were since they are both married to separate people. But it appears Jessica is in on the joke. She posted this pic of Gomez Adams kissing Morticia's arm along with September 12th, the date the series premieres.
I don't care.
Can you explain yourself? Like, don't just say, don't make sounds.
I don't want anybody that familiar with my wife.
What if I told you?
Where they are smelling, like, look, Erica's on my side.
Hold on.
There's a lot of, like, he smelled her arm.
There's background. Can I ask you guys both this? Do you agree with Al so far?
That's real familiar.
No. I mean, make the money, boo boo, and then when you're done, when they yell cut, it's over. That's when.
Even though this is part of the job of promoting, knowing this is the moment. No one's heard of this movie until now.
No, I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very few.
I'm very few. I'm just saying, yeah, is it a publicity stunt? Maybe they discussed it with their partners before. That would make me very uncomfortable. It's one thing to be playing a role. It's something different for you to personally be yourself, and then you all canoodled up with some. Hell no.
And that wasn't like they're reenacting like the scene from Titanic or something where it's an iconic scene. Nobody should have your partner's arm extended in a slow motion sniff towards the pit.
Okay.
No.
Let me ask you this.
No.
I have some background
That's
information.
Very personal.
I'm a huge fan of both of them. They're good friends. They went to Juilliard together. They actually acted together for years and years and years. So there's a camaraderie. Does that affect both of your opinions?
No, Tori,
I'm trying.
We need to learn boundaries.
Okay.
Okay? We need to learn boundaries. Like, I mean, let's be real. When we first started on the show 5 years ago,
yeah, we
spent like pretty much 18 hours together every single day, and even hung out on the weekends
all the time.
If I'm like all over at like that would just be like
that would just make you human.
No.
But you don't think that's like
it doesn't matter.
But like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, they had that chemistry and they would play it up every time because more and more people would go see it.
And we talked about that crazy too because Bradley had a girlfriend and was with his child's father at the time, right?
Right. Yeah.
We talked about that.
There's something to be said about laying your hands on a familiar way with somebody that's in a partnership, and that look, I think in cinema history we figured out a way to promote movies without the two co-stars.
Are we talking about this?
Making out before?
Are we talking about this movie now? I think they did more they understood the assignment.
Yeah, but did their husband and wife understand?
I was worried about that. I was worried about that too.
I mean, like this movie, this thing will come and go, but
their marriage.
What's going to happen to the marriage? Because I would feel very disrespected as a spouse.
Unless they were discussed before, it would be.
Even with the discussing, because that could be pointed like, hey, look, we need this money.
Yeah, right.
But so it's really like agreeing almost at the point of a theoretical gun. Like, oh, well, we need the money, so you have to say yes.
Interesting.
But like, I wouldn't even want to put my partner in that position. Erica, to have to answer that question, it's no.
Interesting. Would love to know what you guys think. Either way, we're talking about it.
Keep
coming
your nose
up.
away from my girl's arm. Don't smell.
Okay, stop.
It was the inside.
We know, but it was also very like Venetian and Amore.
You all romanticize it.
Oh, I know. Coming up on DBL, Olivia Munn takes a new role and in edge of your seat crime thriller. We're talking about her next in Chatting with the Stars.
Scientists created the COVID-19 vaccines in record time. So why is it taking so long to get a COVID shot for kids? Let's connect the dots. The biggest challenge is figuring out the right dosage for kids. Different age groups likely need different doses. That's time consuming. Pfizer and Moderna are both in the middle of clinical trials. They still need to analyze all of their data. That could take up to 6 months, which is 3 times longer than they took with the other COVID vaccine. Before the FDA issues emergency approval, they do their own deep dive. Officials look at individual reports from every single child in the trials to make sure it's safe. Experts estimate a vaccine for kids 5 to 11 could be ready by early winter. And that is connecting the dots.
Not a good look for you coming home at 8 a.m. with some random arm candy, Dahlia.
Honey's not random. He works here. Thanks for the concern, Detective.
Hey, let's get something straight. I ain't the law. I'm your social worker, and you got a daughter who needs to get to school on time.
Stop prying into my family.
Welcome back to DBL. From the moment we saw her in the newsroom, we knew that she would be making headlines. That was Olivia Munn and Boardwalk Empire's Shea Wingham in the new nail-biting thriller, The Gateway. We caught up with them about their new movie and more in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Olivia and Shea, welcome to DBL. Now, you both genuinely care about these two down-and-out characters. How do you get the audience to root for you? What do you do, Olivia?
Oh, great question. How do you get the audience to root for you? If I could answer that, we could all here answer that. I think for me, I just tried to play her as honestly as I could. And the thing that I love so much about Dahlia was that she is somebody who is really fear-based and bearing all that fear to survive every day. And I think a lot of us can understand that, whether it's in small periods of our life or longer periods.
You guys shot this movie before COVID. Everybody was scared about what the future's gonna look like. Were you worried that it would never see the light of day?
No, no. That's the beauty of there's so many outlets now that you're able to to have things seen on.
Honestly, I was afraid I'd have to do Zoom interviews forever. But then I was like on the very last tail end of anybody realizing I had I was looking down on my laptop. I had like no light, and I was like, it was a year into the pandemic, and I'm watching everybody else like looks so great. I was like, I'm never gonna get this. How do people look so great?
I think everybody's a professional lighting and de facto green screen expert at this point.
Yeah. We all had to order our own ring light.
The ring light,
yes,
that was what changed it for me. I look like a troll.
I have two right now.
Nice. Oh, the double ring light. Oh, all right.
You
She's
got
an
to.
expert.
Shea, I wanted to ask you this. In the film, Bruce Dern, of course, Laura Dern's father, plays your dad. Just what was it like as an actor working with like Hollywood legends?
I'd seen him going back to all the Gunsmoke days, to King of Marvin Gardens with Nicholson, to the John Wayne films, and we talked about all of it.
Wow.
We'd sit around and really pepper him. Yeah, not to be that guy, but a lot of the younger generation, they don't sit there and take the time with a cat like that. Like, this guy has been through the wars. He's done 190 film and television pieces before.
So cool. I know. So, Olivia, something that I wanted to bring up, because I think that this is just very admirable of you, and I want our viewers to know this. You worked very hard amidst the pandemic, finding shelter pets a new home during lockdown. Can you talk a little bit about that? And is there any way that our viewers can help?
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up, and thanks for noticing.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
When there was a huge shutdown in our country, also people started shutting down shelters, and that meant that a lot of animals that didn't have a home were getting euthanized. So it was really important that people, if they could, open up their homes and foster dogs. And what we were finding was that not only was it saving the dogs' lives, but it was like helping a lot of kids and families and people, giving them a purpose of something to do every day. So it was amazing to see that in the pandemic, so many people were thinking about how they can save an animal in need.
Unbelievable. Okay, so to our viewers, because we are out of time, unfortunately, you guys have to watch their new movie, The Gateway. It's an escape we all need.
Yes,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much, Shea and Olivia. We appreciate you both. Congratulations on the film.
Mazel tov.
We'll be right back. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Now, we've been talking about the red-hot housing market. While it's definitely a seller's market, there are still things you can do to get the biggest bang for your buck when putting your house on the market. One question we came across, are there certain colors you should be painting rooms in your house that could help or hurt a sale? Let's verify. Our sources are Zillow and local realtor David Hoffman.
The paint color totally tells a story. It can pull in the accents that the buyer and the consumer is looking for, or it can distract.
Zillow's latest interior paint color analysis took a look at 15 colors to find out which made the biggest impact in the bedroom, bathroom, living room, and kitchen.
We actually found that white scored the highest when painted in the kitchen, and gray scored the highest when painted in the living room.
If you have white cabinets, you want as close to a white wall, maybe a little off-white, just not exactly the same. But you don't want to distract from those accent pieces, maybe a little stone in the backsplash or that bar stool.
When it comes to the bathroom, Zillow found homes with light blue bathrooms could sell for up to $4,698 more than expected.
When you go to the master bath, this is a fun room. This is just starting to get really popular. So the master bath has a lot of water. You've got the shower and the sinks, you've got the tub. Hopefully you have windows that can show you the beautiful blue skies. So you want baby blue in the master bath.
When it comes to the bedroom, this is the room to use that bold color that you want.
So if you want to go dramatic in the bedroom, a dark forest green also scored very well.
So you can close the door and it could be a little more fun. You can have it a little more edgy.
The best bet for your living room is neutral.
But when it comes to the great room, the living room, even the den, anything you can see from one room to the next, most people want them all to flow. Because when you have different colors, some people want the dining room to be different from the living room than from the great room, from the study. It just feels choppy and it doesn't feel seamless and it doesn't have any uniformity.
So we can verify that yes, there are certain colors you should be painting rooms in your home that could help or hurt a sale. If there's something you want us to verify, let us know. Send an email to verify@wcnc.com.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments in there about Jessica Chastain. So someone wrote, Erica just said, oh, hell no about that, which is so funny. That was Janice. I also got a comment that says, it's a no for me. I wouldn't be okay with my husband expanding his role off set. And I just want to say, I get it, guys, but just from the other side, I don't think she's out of her role in this. She's still promoting.
You announce her as her character.
Okay.
It's just a different thing. I mean, honestly, a situation like that could really harm, and I don't know what their situation is, obviously, their marriage, but I know in the real world, you can't be playing your spouse like that in a public forum.
Agreed completely, but I will be seeing the movie. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys. Same time.